to our May meeting. I'm Liz Burkhouse, the pres. She didn't know. Do we have any new members here?
Sit.
Any new members? Any visitors? Any old members? Welcome. Okay, we have a pretty full docket for tonight. I have to get my card. Got it? So here's the agenda for this evening. The overall meeting is going to be a tool tips talk. So we're going to be sharing our tips with each other. We're going to be rotating around the tables. We set up 6 tables, but 6 groups, but obviously we don't need that many. So
yeah, we do.
We do? Oh.
Because there might be, does anybody have a card with 6 on it? How do you know? So a seat?
Okay.
Look at your card.
Okay, fine.
Do you have a card?
I have a card.
Do you want to hang on to those cards because that will tell you where to go and when? Okay, but first I'd like to cover the points on the agenda. First of all, we'll do guild business, which is basically reports from the various chairs. And then that includes an update from the collaborative art project. Notice I'm not calling it a community art project anymore, collaborative art project. A follow-up from Clay Carnival, a follow-up from the exhibits committee, a follow-up from the events committee, and then presentations and workshops. Ann Lewis and her little crew are the ones who very, very arduously and with great persistence put these things together for us. So she has a lot to say about what's coming up, and you'll want to know that. And then we're going to get into the tool and tips talk, and after that we'll have announcements. So I just want to say that if the various people who are presenting don't cover everything, undoubtedly more information will be in greenware. And if you have information that you want to announce, that you want to promote through our organization, greenware is the place to do it. We're a little short on articles this month. The deadline was like the day before yesterday. No, yesterday. Right? But I know for certain that Cindy Pooley will accept articles. Okay? So hint, hint. If you have anything, send it her way. All right. So guild business, the collaborative art project update. I have a little problem in that I didn't bring any clips to hang this thing up. So what I'm going to do is go to that first table. I'm going to lay this on the table. And if you'd like to gather around.
We can hold it up.
Oh, okay. I just didn't want to have someone standing there holding it.
Too bad.
Okay. All right. Well, what's the that for a minute? I got to do some pre-work here. All right. So the collaborative art project has been in existence since October of last year. We're a group of people, about 8 of us now, who are on the planning committee. And what we were doing is trying to find a project for us to work on as a creative art group. Hopefully nonprofit or city-based or some venue where we could showcase our talents and skills for the benefit of the community. So we have been looking for a project to do. We found a project that we think will be a good match for our skills, and Monday we have an appointment to go. To talk to the executive director of the Day Worker Center of Mountain View, and present her with 2 design plans for our idea for the project. Basically, when you go into the center, it's a remodeled warehouse. You walk in and there's a reception area and there's a wall right in front of you and 2 doors. And on the wall is a bronze plaque. And the bronze plaque shows workers who are in t-shirts and caps and jeans, and they're just sort of standing in a line, because that's a lot of what they do is stand in line and wait for a job. They work by the day. Some of them work 2 or 3 times a week. Some of them don't get that much work. So it's a very stressful situation for them. So this is a support organization that puts them in touch with employers and gives them services while they're waiting to work. Services like English as a second language and job hunting skills and things of that nature. So this wall is intended to be a way to welcome people into the center and also a way to thank the sponsors who put up the money to reorganize and remodel the warehouse into the center. And so they want to thank their donors, so it's a donor wall, and they would like to have the bronze plaque stay where it is, which is kind of a design problem. And they want it to reflect what the workers do, what their concerns are, and just sort of bring people into this community of workers. So we came up with a couple of ideas. Okay, so idea number one is basically...
Suzanne wants to see it.
It's right in the center. Go that way. Much better.
Where do you want us?
So what you're looking at is what is called a what is it called?
A collaborative
A puzzle mosaic mural. Okay, so think of a puzzle where all the pieces fit together. It's a mosaic because there's different shapes, and it's a mural because it tells a story. So what we have is very casual line drawing, a black line throughout, showing something that's like our valley. So you've got a hint of San Francisco up here, a hint of Gilroy down there, a hint of Mountain View and some of the bedroom communities, and there's parks and yada yada. And throughout there are little vignettes of what the workers do. So you'll see them, you know, building. You'll see them doing yard work. You'll see them doing painting, whatever. So this is will be all full of those little designs. So this is just sort of representative. You know, we're not going to take this too literally. But the main thing is, here's the plaque, right? So it's sort of out from the wall. And this is going to be a brick pedestal. So it'll look very realistic. It'll look more like it belongs to the plaque than it does to the surrounding mural. And the reason for that is we want to tie it all together, so that's why we put that in there. We originally had some figures standing out even further from that, but we simplified it because it was a little too hard. And so as we looked at this, we were like, oh my God, that's so much work! How are we going to do it? We can't do the lines. And Heather came up with the solution to this, and that is using a technique I didn't know about, or I didn't know the name of it, mishima, which is where you carve the lines.
Where the second?
I'm sorry?
Where the second?
Okay, so see, it's called that different method. I do cartoons in clay, so but anyway, so carving the lines out, and then filling it with a colored slip, black slip, and then scraping it off, and then going back with sort of a wash, help me, watercolor wash. Okay, so that would be one direction to go. Another alternative would be to use a warmer clay so that it's closer to this look. The whole wall is painted in a very warm neutral color. So we use a more of a buff clay or a terracotta clay, and then a little heavier application of glaze. So that's that idea. And then of course we would do the words as well. So the idea would be the sponsor names will be on these bricks. For the major sponsors, they had one donor who gave $100,000 and a couple more did $50,000.
Big brick.
Big bricks, yes, big names, big bricks.
Big gold brick.
And then throughout this, we could also do the names of the minor donors, the people who gave less money. Could be throughout this, or we could have a field of flowers in front, whatever. So we haven't quite ironed out all the details. So that's design number one. So this is pretty complex. You know, we think we can do it. We know with your help we're going to be able to do it. But we wanted to give them another option. So we came up with a simpler idea.
How big is this?
Oh yeah, good question. It's 8 by 8.
Oh, it's not that big.
No, 8 feet by 8 feet. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's doable. It would be done in sections. We would mount it on the wall on, I don't know, furring strips or right into the studs or whatever, but it would be done in sections so that we could farm it out to different groups, or not. Okay. All right, so then we decided to go simpler because when we were talking to them, they were like, okay, we should do really bright colors. It should be a celebration. It should harken back to Mexico and the cultural heritage and all that. So we decided to do something a little simpler. This is the same wall, the same plaque, but what we've done are these floating single pieces. You know, multiple tiles, but they're on separate pieces, and they're floating on the wall as a field of flowers. And then each of these is a 6-inch tile, and there'd be more of them, and they would be in a random distribution across the wall, and they would have the donor names. So, you know, the metaphor there is the donors cause the plants to grow. So that's the idea on that. And then, of course, then we have this on. So those are the two ideas. One thing we are doing is we're going to have a plaque for Orchard Valley with all the artist's name on it. And also a little drawer-like thing that pulls out with instructions on how to take it off the wall, so that if they ever want to, they can. They'll, you know, tell them where all the bolts are. So that's that. So that's what we're presenting on Monday, and we'll let you know how that goes and which one they chose. And we're going to need help. So I mean, we're just the planning committee. After decision is made, then we're going to go from there and have meetings to decide how much clay do we need, how much glaze do we need, what's our budget, how long is this going to take, how many people, where are we going to do the work, on and on. Okay? Any questions?
I think it's fabulous.
Oh, thank you. You're all welcome. Yes.
Just the one thing to toss out with this for CCACCA that I was talking about when we had the tile artist for workshops, and she carved it with her little tool, her favorite tool, you know, that, and then the lines are actually filled with the grout. When you grout it, it's cut apart in sections and it fills with the grout, so actually, you wouldn't have to do the slip business.
That was another thing, because we've got it's a mosaic puzzle, right? And in separate sections, we're going to have pieces that need to be grouted together, and the grout lines will be black grout. Yeah, so you'll have darker lines and lighter lines. It should be quite visually interesting.
Her point is all the lines could be grouted.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
It goes in between, and it goes in the design lines too, so you don't know where the pieces actually are cut.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll do practice tiles.
The other thing that
We have a lot of people here that know that technique.
The other thing she said was the big deal is she ran the one of those rubber mats from that you put under your carpet for non-slip, have a texture so that the backing of the tile has a texture on it, makes it stick better. She says tile people love you if you do that.
That's a tip.
Yeah, write it down.
Write that down. We will be doing test tiles, and in fact, farming out to people. We need to know, you know, what kind of clay we're going to use. We had a donation possible with some clay that Sue Vincent has, but we're not sure that's the clay we want to use. But if we could, then it would cost less to do the project. But so we'd like to try different glazes on tile, on different clay, and just see, you know, what's the best way to go to get the effect we want.
Any chance of getting any clay donated?
Oh, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. Yeah, we'll be working on that.
Clay planner.
That's, you know, it's like we finally got an idea and we want to get to work, but there's a lot to do before we actually do the work. So I'll keep it posted. Yes.
I'm not a part of your committee, but just some practical experience that I had doing a piece that was about 10 feet by 6 feet, is that we worked on tar paper and in sections based on how much weight each section should be.
Oh, good.
And then when the pieces were, we designed the whole thing as a whole. This was with 7th graders. And then cut them apart. And the whole trick was you cut them apart on the tar paper, and then you have the exact mark of that piece when it was wet. So when it gets blown up in the kiln, you know that piece number 1204 was this piece right here. And that's how big it was when it was wet.
Well, I
So
hope
save
you
your
know-
tar paper.
Yes, I have a whole roll of it. I'm ready.
But that was a lifesaver because you can move these 4x4 foot pieces of clay onto tables, do the whole design, then decide how to cut it apart and code everything.
Easy peasy.
Absolutely
Yes,
code
I've
everything.
heard
Yeah.
that many times, yes. Thank you. I'll be calling on your expertise. You get that. Okay, that's all. There aren't any more questions. Quick Clay Carnival follow-up.
It was a great day. Thanks for everybody for coming, especially the instructors that we had. I think Gina's here, Liz is here, Barbara's here, Jamie's here. So we hope I got them all that we got here. It was fabulous. The feedback was great on the written things, but I wanted to also, I know Mary Jane's not here, but the Clay Planet staff worked at least 2 full days to move around all that clay and make those little coves, and they put in a lot of work. And I appreciate everybody that filled in the forms, because now here's some of the comments that we got. It was one person said that the Clay Carnival is a great reminder of our varied and talented clay community because of the variety of things that were offered, which is a great reminder. Please confirm the schedule ahead of time. That was a suggestion. And a tools list for hands-on would be helpful. They also wanted a lot more time for hands-on demos, so you could probably consider that. Liz's mask workshop was extremely popular. We got a lot of thumbs up. And it wasn't even cold, which was cool. Okay, so we had 60 people attend, and we had 18 non-members come. So it was great exposure, and I think, you know, we got the word out to a lot of the high schools and junior colleges, and I think that worked. We stayed inside our budget, so we have a little bit for upcoming workshops, and we're going to repeat again in April of next year, so mark your calendars. And if you have any ideas for the 90-minute sessions, like if you stumble across it, you know, just kind of file it in your head and let us know, because we're always looking for cool things you can do in 90 minutes. So that's my little Carnival thing going on.
Mitch,
Yeah.
there's videos are on the, some of the videos, I'm putting them up on the YouTube site.
Right.
Some of the sessions.
Right.
If you missed-
The exhibit at Higher Fire in San Jose is really, really nice. I had great support, people helping to get it staged. We have 24 place settings. Everything from a funky chicken serving chicken soup to other sculptural pieces to regular, beautiful, functional table settings. And the whole side of the gallery space is open shelving. We've had sales. Our famous president over there sold her chicken on opening night. Oh, well, they were really thinking about 2.
Yeah.
So but it's very, very nice. A lot of people have this thing about downtown San Jose. It's a foreign country. We don't go there. Try to get down and see it. San Jose is really different. This block, it's about a two block section of Market Street, has probably 10 galleries, all kinds of art institutions that do different things, restaurants. You can ride the trolley car down there. And Higher Fire is open 9:30 to 6 every day of the week. So go down and check it out. And thank you for everybody that did so much to make it work.
Thank you, Linda.
We had a dozen people drive up to Davis for looking at the galleries associated with the CCACCA show, and it was a lot of fun. We saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pieces of art. It was very stimulating. We had members as well as non-members go. Our next event is going to be the first 2 weekends in August. We're going to have our 2nd annual studio tour, and we're going to do a combination of private studios like we did last year, and also commercial studios. So places like Black Bee, we're going to be contacting to see, also for our group to be able to go to learn how they organize their studios. So we'll have a mixture of commercial as well as private studios. I'm especially interested this year in studios that might be your kitchen table, your laundry room, the porch in your backyard. I want to have a wide variety of places, and to be able to demonstrate to people that you can do ceramic art in a very small space. And if you do it at home, in your spare bedroom or wherever, please consider opening up your studio for us to come and visit. We're going to be getting that set up in the next 2 months. Look for blast and for greenware announcements on specific details.
Just a quick wrap up about the sale that we had here in the community center. Was a fundraiser sale to help support the studio, and we were able to raise $6,000 for the studio. Nice. The total sale was just under $13,000 for the 2-day event, so that was a really good thing. And hopefully we have at least bought the studio another year. And that means hopefully. So I'll find out more detail about what we have achieved and what we can look forward to in the coming year.
And when you're going to be going before the council again about budgets?
Last I heard is that the studio has been given another year already, but I need to confirm that. So another year meaning the current fiscal year ends June 2012. Another year will be June 2013. So that's the last thing I was told, is that we have until June 2013, and the goal is to at least break even. So right now we're still a little short, even after the fundraising event effort that we've done. With the 2 sales, we've raised actually $12,000, so $6,000 in each sale that we have done. Okay, so we're looking at other possibilities as different ways to help the studio make ends meet, and that's our primary goal at this moment. Okay, and then about our Orchard Valley sale, which is, if you don't remember yet, it's November the 17th and 18th, and the registration will start in July. We will have a registration form included in your greenware that's coming out mid-June around that time, so make sure that you have your current address on our record. If you moved or if you did something, you want to receive your greenware somewhere else, please make sure that you update your address so that you not only get your greenware, you also get that very important registration form. I just want to quickly assess how many people are interested in the sale this November. Okay, all right. So pretty good. So like I said before, we are actually taking over the whole space, including that extra room, which we won't be able to get into the Friday evening because of the AA meeting. But we will have full access during the Saturday and Sunday. And as far as how we're gonna lay out the tables, whether we're gonna have demos or presentations of some other sorts, it really depends on the registration. So how many people we're gonna get actually wanting to be in the sale will decide how we're gonna use the rooms, how we're gonna lay things out. So having said that, when July comes, you get your form, please send it in right away so that we have an idea how many people are gonna be in the sale, and then we can plan accordingly. Otherwise, it's really hard for us to anticipate, and then we may just have to make a decision and reject or actually put people on the waiting list just because we couldn't accommodate anymore. So the earlier we find out, the better it will be. We may have to either increase the table fee or the percentages, depending on how we work the numbers out. We haven't decided yet. The main reason is because the facility itself had increased its leasing fee for about 10 to 15%. So it's usually every other year they raise their fees. So that's unfortunate that it just happens. But hopefully, if we do well and we make enough from the commissions that the guild will take, then we don't have to keep adding the fee onto each individual artist. If we can just sell enough work, which we have been increasing by 10% over the year too, and for the past 2 years, we at least made a little money, not just breaking even. We actually made a little money from the sale that allowed us to buy, say, more tablecloths and more other supplies that's needed for the event. So if everything goes well, it looks like the economy is kind of picking up slowly, and we should have another really good successful sale. All right, any questions? No, I'm all done.
So, I did this because I have so many things going on. I wanted you guys to follow along. So, Kinzie workshop is coming up, I think it's in 3 weeks. It's been a little crazy trying to get the information, so we finally have it. Suzanne put it up on the web. You guys can start signing up. The flyer went out. It looks like this, and it's gonna, I don't know if it's gonna be in Greenware, because Greenware might be published by the time this happens. But Bob, I don't think he's done a workshop in a while, so we're gonna reach out to Walnut Creek. We're also gonna talk to the Santa Cruz Mountain Arts people. So we want to have this well attended, but you know, we're kind of hustling to get people to sign up. So I actually have a sign up sheet here just to kind of gauge interest. I'll pass it around, but I have to announce something first. But the information, there's more information on the web, or maybe, yeah, there's a little bit more information on the web.
A blast came out.
Yeah, that's right. That's what this was.
And if you want to give me one of the flyers, I belong to Walnut Creek.
Yeah,
Guild. I'll take it with me on Wednesday.
what I was going to ask you. Because I talked to Barbara already, but since you're here. It's going to be a great workshop. I think that Bob does the great big stuff, and he textures these huge slabs, and Sandy's going to be there, and she does hand building, and he wants to, you know, demonstrate techniques he's developed he's been throwing for 50 years. So it's going to be cool. So I'm hoping that you guys make the time to come. 10 to 4, you don't have to get up so early. So, okay, so that's that. The general meeting for July is going to be at the beach. We're going to do a pit fire. So we're checking out 2 beaches. We can't dig the big pit anymore. So we're restricted to fire rings. So there's 2 beaches in Santa Cruz. We have to check them out for like parking and restrooms and shade and stuff like that. And so Jill's going to go over the hill with me, and we're going to go on a field trip and pick the beach, and we'll let you know. But families are invited. Because it's fire rings, we're going to limit it to 20 pit firers. But everybody can come over and picnic. It's open to everybody, families. I think I said that. And
Does that say the 28th or the 29th?
28th, Saturday. 28th is a Saturday. So the cool part is too that Joe Badiato is going to lead this pit fire. I asked him if he would be interested, and he wants to come in. He's going to do a little talk. He's going to do this cool little demo first, and so it's going to be fun. So we'll have a 10-minute business session, okay. So we can call it a general meeting. And so there's a lot of information on the web. Did I get that to you? I got that to you, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna. There's a big article will be in Greenware too, so you can keep it. So we're very excited about that because we've got a lot of input about how cool. I don't think we've done a pit fire with OVCAG. 2003, does that sound right?
Yeah, about 10 years old.
Yeah. So come, clear your calendar. Okay. July 14th is the deadline for the pit fire signups. Oh, but now I can send this around because that's the other thing I want.
So we have a question here.
Yeah.
So you said that it would be limited to 20 potters and
20 pit firers.
Pit firers.
Yes.
And how many pots per?
Well, we have to see how many people sign up. And then we're going to go look at the rings. I think they're about 3 feet. Yeah. And they have to be dug out. And so probably smaller, once we figure out what they look like. I don't even know how many there are.
They're that big.
Yeah, that deep.
Right,
Yeah.
but we have to snag them. I think they're first come, first serve.
That's right.
So to make the pit fire work, I have a feeling a few of us are going to be camping to get there at 5 o'clock in the morning and stick our OVCAG flags in all the rings. So that will probably, oh, and the other thing is too, on the web, and I don't know if it's, there's a link. I talked to Eduardo. He has this wonderful, huge, long page of information about how to prepare pots for pit firing and color, how to produce colors and things like that. And you might want to go read that too. You know, grogged clay and little and terracig and all that stuff. So anyway, we'll maybe have a meeting for the people who are going to pit fire if you want. But I haven't figured that out yet. Okay, so. And I'm just going to go fast and you can ask questions. This general meeting in September is the required meeting for the art and clay sale. But we've extended it by an hour because Christa Assad is going to do a slide presentation because on that Saturday, 2 days later, she's doing her workshop. So she's going to come, she's in Berkeley. She's going to come down and from 6 to 7, she's going to be doing her slideshow to kind of preview, you know, the kind of work that she does. I don't know if anybody knows Christa's work, but she does this cut and construct, and it's very architectural, and she loves to kind of experiment with the forms, and so she's going to do her we're calling it a public slideshow, so, you know, we could publicize that as people can come in and take a look. So that's for the first hour, and then Cristina takes over for the other, 5 hours?
Hopefully not that long.
Okay, and then the general meeting in December, so we're trying to be really organized here, is going to be, this is a Tuesday, regular time, but we're doing a mug swap, which was really fun last time. And I think Evelyn bought one at a garage sale, but I'm going to have her make one this time. And we're doing a holiday potluck. And we're also actually thinking about doing a small hands-on thing that we have a couple of ideas, but since it's only May, we don't have to decide yet. But we'll have something fun to do. Okay, so that's the presentation. So I do everything here. Oh, and if anybody wants information about the pit fire, I have a couple of handouts if you want them, like right now. So that's that. And then before I forget, the potluck sign-up's over there. I always forget to talk about that. So if anybody hasn't contributed lately, sign up for September. And then I'll talk about the activity afterward. All done. So. Our team is really busy. It's way fun. So, okay, that's it.
Okay, we're going to do the TikTok in just a second, but I wanted to get this announcement in before we kind of
We have to do the tool swap before we do the tip.
Okay, but I'll do this. You may know that as of May 10th, Chinese clay art / playground has relocated. So they're in a new building on down the street, like and on the other side. Anyway, they're having an opening on the 19th, which is Saturday. You know, 10 to 5 purchases, you get 10% off on all purchases and 5% off for clay class and home. So 1518 South Deanza Boulevard. Everything else is the same. Their address, mailing address, phone number, and all that is the same as it's been, so you can locate them.
There's one little thing. He has a whole big box of little rolling pins that came, and they were defective little bumps in them. They're free, so you go.
Early. So Saturday, good day to check out Stevens Creek Boulevard, Deanza Boulevard. All right, so Anne, would you like to explain to us how this will work?
Okay, so let's do the tool thing first, get that out of the way. So if anybody turned in a tool and did not pick up one of these little chartreuse numbers, or if you came late and you have tools, come on up.